What's up, T-Rex?
Hold on, wait.
What's good?
All right. What's going
So,
on?
Hey.
can I ask y'all a question? Is it loud behind me?
No,
Okay, because I've tried to get as far away from the stage as possible.
nah, you coming in loud and clear.
Okay.
All right, we got T-Rex in the building. Welcome to the For What Review.
What's going on, man?
All right.
I'm Little Sis. I'm your host. Welcome. Let's talk.
And I'm Almighty Q. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, I'm on the road, but I wouldn't miss this. That's my girl right there. It's like I gotta stop everything I'm doing. You know?
All right. So real quick, T-Rex, I know you at a show. Can you tell us a little bit about you?
Yeah. I'm at a show right now in Baltimore, but I'm a singer. I work in the business. I've been working in the business now about 20 years. Started in church, just singing regular as a church, and then decided that this was something I wanted to do, professionally. So after graduating high school, I'm from upstate New York. I'm from Albany, New York. I moved to New York City because I was just like, watching TV. I was like, everybody that make it, go to New York. So that's where I
Okay, all right.
like, I'm going to New York. I no family. My family was scared for me to go down there, and I was just like 19. I wasn't scared of anything at that time, and I just packed my car and I went. And I was singing in churches and different. They had the underground back then. Big up to Ron Grant. On Sunday nights, we would go down to the Village Underground, and I just started meeting just like a lot of different people. And it was crazy because when I moved to New York, my boy Life Jennings was just getting out of doing 10 years in prison. And we actually moved to like the same neighborhood. So he had started doing the Apollo and, started making a name for himself. And I was running around trying to be a background singer for people. I felt like that was a way that I could get into the business. And I ended up meeting him. And like, that's how everything started.
Wow. So
you say. And how did you get the name T-Rex?
Again, Life Jennings gave me that name when I met him. I guess they all was just a little bit more street than me, so I didn't have no nickname or nothing. And it was like, you ain't got no nickname, we're gonna call you T-Rex. And he just gave me that name, and I was like, what? I would have never thought to call myself that. Okay. But back then, they would call you a beast. If you was really good at something, they'd be like, man, you a beast. That was like a slang term that we had. And Life used to always say, man, you a beast. And my name is Terrell. So took the T from Terrell and the dinosaur, the beast, and kind of how it came about.
All right. What was I checked out some of your videos.
Mm-hmm.
I got the ones I like, but I'm not gonna say nothing, not yet. But what was your first track?
The first track that I did was called In His Image. And after being in the music business for so long and singing background for so many people and touring and doing so much in the background for so many people, everybody kept saying, Rex, when you gonna do your own record? And at this time, man, I have seen so much that had went on in the business from working in it. Like, I was really good at just doing what I was doing. I wasn't trying to be the next Michael Jackson or, the next big thing. I was really content with being able to do music, make money, and live the way I was living. And I didn't want to do gospel. I didn't want to do R&B. And I came up with R&G, rhythm and gospel. And basically because I loved gospel music so much, but I also love R&B. And, for a long time, I tell this story a lot. Growing up in church with real spiritual family, they made us feel like, we was going to go to hell for singing R&B music. So for a long time, I was just like, oh, you know what? I can't do that. Because when I die, I'm going to go to hell. I'm dead serious, though. I was scared to sing it. And then once I became an adult, moved to New York and kind of got my own mind and my own vibe and my own relationship with God, I was just like, that just can't be possible. And I started talking to different pastors, and I went to my pastor, the one I had in New York, and I was like, Pastor, you know, I'm an adult now, and this one thing has been like keeping me from going back. Like, am I gonna be judged and go to hell when I die for singing R&B music? And he was like, no. And you know, he broke it down to me. Like, you know, when me and my wife, this is my pastor talking, having our fun time, we ain't listening to Jesus is climbing up the rough side of the mountain.
Right.
He said, we listening to Marvin Gaye. We listening to, he's like, it's just all about your lifestyle. So I prayed to God to give me something to come up with that would appeal to both audiences. Because, you know, a lot of my guys that I hang out with in the hip hop world, they don't like gospel. And then a lot of the gospel people I like don't like hip hop. So I came up with R&G, rhythm and gospel, which was kind of a way to bond everybody together. So In His Image was the first record, and I thought it was a great first record because to me, In His Image is universal. It said we all were made in His image, whether our height, weight, color, religion, that's gospel, rock, non-gospel, jazz, we all were made in His image. So that was the first record, and that was the reason for the first record.
Speaking of image, when people first look at you, do they say, another rapper, until they hear you? When they just look at you, they just or automatically assume you're a rapper.
You know what? When we first got in the business, and me and Life and the other guys would go up to places, they'd be like, yo, y'all about to rap? And still to this day, they still think I rap. You know what? There's actually a rapper named T-Rex. And he's actually from Harlem. He's in the same neighborhood that I live in. So yeah, like I'm not trying to be, hard look. Like that's just who I am. But yeah, they confuse me for a rapper all the time, man.
What are your how you say when you perform, what are the songs people are looking for?
The Storm is a Ministry.
Mm-hmm.
I love that song. Yeah.
Everybody just be waiting on that. In His Image is a great record. They love all the records, man. Like performing is my thing. I love the studio, and I love going into the studio and making records. But the live thing is my thing. I do a cover of New Edition. Can You Stand the Rain? Got people. I go everywhere, and people like, oh, we want to hear that. But mostly the Storm, In His Image, are two records that people are like, you gotta sing that record. And sometimes, I love Dave Hollister. Sometimes I throw some Dave Hollister in there. Yeah, that's my idol. Big up to Dave, man. Big up to Dave.
No doubt, no doubt.
But I would say those two records, The Storm, In His Image.
All right, I got two.
Can I ask, wait, who wrote The Ministry?
The Storm is a ministry.
The song is a ministry. Who wrote that?
You know what? I was doing a play. During COVID, we were putting this play together, and the play was called The Storm is a Ministry Too. And my producer, Bernie Stevenson, big up to Bernie. Bernie Stevenson came to me. I was like, man, we should do a song for the play. And I was like, man, that'll be a dope idea. So he sent me the idea, and I added my little 2 cents to it. So me and Bernie Stevenson did that record. And we just felt like at the time, it was COVID going on. People needed to hear it.
Yeah. All right, I got one. This is mine. Letter to Mary. Why Letter to Mary?
Mary! I love Mary J. Blige, man. I love P. Diddy. Like, I'm a big Diddy fan. And when he came with Mary, the queen of hip hop and soul, man. And again, trying to get her attention. You know what? I actually, when I moved to New York,
At least you honest.
Yes, when I moved to New York, her sister LaTanya was the first person I worked with. She took me on her wing, and she had a bunch of groups at the time, and I was going with her and her groups to the studio. Big up to LaTanya. And her little brother Brucey is a very, very close friend of mine, one of my best friends. But they wouldn't know that I was crazy about Mary. They probably know now because I wrote this record. But it's been like almost 20 years I've been friends with them. But I never talked about Mary. I never brought up Mary, and I didn't never want them to think that our friendship and everything was based on them being related to Mary J. Blige. So when Mary came out with this record, again, you know, just out here and vibes and good energy, I went to my producer and I was like, you know what? I see a lot of people on the internet covering songs. You know, I should cover the Mary record. He was like, yeah, but you know what? We should put a spin on it. And he was like, I was like, yeah. He sent me the idea, and I was like, yo, bro, you just killed it. I've never heard of anybody writing a public letter to somebody in a record, in a song. Like, you know, you write somebody a letter, but to actually sing a public and put it out, like, so me and Bernie came up with the idea, man, and Bernie Stevenson again, and that is just amazing, man. I hope she heard it. I sent it to all her family.
I don't know why this is not being played everywhere, but this song is fire, especially the guy that's featuring with you, Above Water. That guy, T-Soul. Nasty. Nasty.
Yeah. Another record that me and my producer, Bernie, I have one producer, and me and him sit down and we do everything. From working with Life and a different other artists, I seen that when you do an album and you got like 8 different producers and 50 different writers, it's all good when y'all in the studio and everything's going, your vibes are coming. But like as soon as the paperwork come for everybody to sign off, people don't forgot agreements, what they said inside, like the numbers is up going up, and it just becomes a lot of drama. So I was like, you know, if I find one producer that I feel like can give me a bunch of different sounds, then I'm gonna just go with that one. So I've just been with Bernie, and we just been making these records, no issues, no paperwork problems, and I'm just, so that's where I'm at with that.
Let me ask you this. R&B or R&G, how do you feel it is in this era? Do you feel like it's disappearing?
You know what? I don't think it's disappearing. I think it's not as popular. But I really do still think like there is a lot of great R&B music out there.
I do too.
Jasmine stuff, like it's a lot of it great, but is it as popular because they not spending as much money into it? No. But just because something ain't as popular, that don't mean it ain't there. You know, like these artists are still put to me, and then there's a whole bunch of new great R&B artists. Summer Walker, like it's a lot of. So I personally don't feel like it's dead. I do personally feel like whoever the people in charge up there somewhere, they not putting it to the forefront like it should be.
Do you think they actually have charge of that, or the people?
I think that's a great question. I think it's both ways, because I think we as people, if we don't like a certain laws or something in our city or our community,
we change it.
We got to go out and vote.
Right.
But we don't go out and vote. So therefore, nothing changes. And what we do is we just complain that we don't have these laws. But if we all came together and actually voted, the people that are making these laws wouldn't even be in charge. And I think that's the same how it goes with R&B music. It's like black folks, we all complaining, oh, we don't got no R&B. But then when somebody put out an R&B album, nobody gonna buy it. Or when the R&B thing, we don't support it. You know, so we can change it, but I don't think we as people making certain moves and making our voices heard enough to these guys that's running, you know, whatever, everything that we see, and that this is what we want. So I think it goes both ways.
Tamika?
Okay, I see that you're doing a little acting. Are you acting now?
Yes.
Okay, and are you going to be doing any more acting in the future?
Yes, a whole bunch. I actually started acting like right before COVID. And then COVID just kind of like shut everything down. So
Yeah.
I don't know if I can really talk about it, but I'm gonna talk about it anyway. I just got I'm doing a Christmas, I'm doing theater. I'm starting with theater. So I'm doing a theater. Uh-oh. I'm in Baltimore.
Mhm.
They just sent the they just sent the whole crew somewhere. I'm in Baltimore. The Wire. Okay. So yeah, I have this a Christmas play coming up, some theater in the DMV area, called I'll Be Home for Christmas. Big up to Akiva, a play director that I reached out to because I always wanted to act, and I was like, Akiva, you gotta give me a chance. So I went, you know, showed him what I could do, and he's been putting me in theater plays out in the DMV area, which is great because I'm from New York and it's just a whole nother audience. So we got the I'll Be Home for Christmas theater play that's coming up in the DMV December. So that's gonna be coming up. And I have a play coming that I just got casted out in Detroit, where
Okay.
I'm playing Dave
All right.
Hollister's son.
Mm.
My
Mm.
idol Dave. I'm about to play his son in this play. And his feature is Marvin Sapp is in it. Uh Jay Moss is in it, Dave is in it, and I'm in it. That's gonna be like the top of the year.
All
And I just
right.
got with a casting agency, so now I'm about to start going out and doing some small parts in movies. So I see now, when you become a singer, so much other stuff that you have access to,
Definitely.
and acting is something I wanted to do, and I wanted to make sure that I trained and did it, and not just be able to get in it because a lot of us we can do a lot. A lot of us singers we can do a lot just because of our name, not necessarily that we have the talent to do it, but they'll say, "Oh, you know what? He has a name. We'll put him in it," and then
Mhm.
the acting be poor. So
Yeah.
just been
Mhm.
taking my time with it, starting with theater because I think it don't get no real than theater. You can't do it again. Everything that you doing is one time out there. So bunch of acting coming up.
That's right.
Okay.
Um, how do you feel about the new generation in hip hop with all the violence?
Uh, is any different than when we came up and it was violence?
Oh, I'll say it ain't different, but it's worse.
Biggie died, Tupac died, the biggest two hip hop legends.
Yeah,
You
but
know, in
if
my
if
era
you
in the
go back,
'90s.
yeah, but that was the biggest. But now it's like more often. Like just
Yeah,
this year alone, about 22 rap artists died. Well, got
yeah,
killed,
yeah.
got killed, and it's
Um,
because of being on social sites and stuff like that.
I mean, I think everything is getting worse, man. Not just the killing. That's coming from somewhere. People just ain't grabbing guns, going out and killing. It's a reason. There's other things that's happening. You know,
Mhm.
poverty. It's other things that's going out. Moms not raising their kids like they used to raise. There's other things that's going on that's actually causing that. So I think like nothing is really like the way it used to be.
Because
And
like they really feel that they have to portray gangster to make it in the industry.
yeah, man, it's crazy. I admit it. Like what's going on out there in LA, I don't see it as much on the New York side. All the
Oh, it's
rappers
the
I'm
same thing
seeing.
in New York. Same thing.
Oh,
Same,
okay.
same
From
thing.
what I see, I see a lot more of it in LA. Like everybody, all the rappers that I've heard recently that's just been shot and dead have been in LA. Uh,
Chicago.
in Chicago, even the New York rappers going to LA and getting shot. Um, but it's crazy, man. What do we do? How do we stop it?
Well, for what they say there's a lot of individuals that's in their life around them, not saying anything.
Right.
No one is saying, nah, man, you ain't got to do that.
And just like I said, we the people not standing up and saying nothing again. If we don't want a certain person in legislator, we have to all come together, say something, and vote and get the person out of there. If we want R&B music back to the focus, then we have to stand up and say something, and everybody come together. But that's hard to do. It's hard to get everybody on the same page. And we will. We will stand up when something happens for a little while. Black Lives Matter. Everybody marches the streets. And then a couple months later, it's just like we just totally forgot that what just happened and what we was just marching for.
Would you, a young individual comes up to you, R&B singer, rapper, whatever the case may be, and they say, hey, can I get some advice from you? What would your advice be?
My advice would be, first of all, have a relationship with God. You don't have to be perfect, but keep that line of communication open. I would say be consistent, be humble, and listen and learn from people that's been there and done it already. I also tell people we got to know our gifts, and we have to know the difference between gifts and what God has called us here for. So you have to know for a fact what you're supposed to do, what you was put here to do. And I believe if you know that for a fact, then it's gonna happen. It's just a matter of time. Like, you could be great at playing basketball, but that don't mean you're supposed to be in the NBA. That don't mean you're supposed to be, that was your sent calling was here to be a basketball player. So that's really what I tell people. Get a relationship with God and be consistent, be humble, listen, learn, and yeah. Make sure you pray to God and ask him. If you don't know, just pray like, God, what is my calling here? And that's what I did. And I knew it was singing without a matter of a shadow of a doubt. So I knew that it was just a matter of time before things would start happening.
Tamika?
Okay, I heard from a few people, and on like at least 3 or 4 people that said if it wasn't for you, they wouldn't be here. Have you? Okay, what's his name? You heard of Grace Mercy?
Yes.
Them also. They said, "Wow, you went to South Carolina. How did you meet them?"
On the road, just traveling. They was on the show that I was on, but that has been a big part of my career. Not only was I singing with Life, I was managing him as well at one time, and I started developing artists. I had Shalik. I was working with Day 26. A lot of different artists behind the scenes, and that's just been something I've been doing my whole career. Is just because I feel like I have so much information. Like I feel like I need to share it with others because I want to see people shine and drive just like me. So it's a whole bunch of people that's in the music industry now, and some of them are done past me that I done help get in the business and show them, the ways, gave them my platform. And that's why I believe I'm still blessed, man. When you bless others, God will keep blessing you. Sometimes we want to keep everything for ourselves and we don't want to give nothing to nobody. And we think that's going to be a way, or if I don't put them on, then it's going to keep me further than them, but I just learned that what God has for you, it is for you.
Right.
You got your own million that he promised you, and nobody can steal that. So you shouldn't be worried about somebody stealing your shine or stealing your members or stealing your audience, because what's for you is for you. We're put here to bless others, man. When we bless others, God keeps us blessed. So, and I just said to myself, I'm tired of helping people. I'm always helping people, nobody helping me. I'm always giving and nobody always giving me. But we have to know that, our reward is not going to come from people it comes from him. It comes from God. And when I learned that, stop looking. First of all, do it because you want to do it and it's from your heart. But stop looking for your blessing to come back from these people. God see what you're doing, and He's gonna be the one that's gonna bless you. You know. So
Right. Keep
Question.
doing what you do.
In the in the industry, it's like a lot of artists from way back to now has an unsung story. It starts off with the struggle of being the actual artist, then becoming an artist, get to that peak. Either two things happen: you disappear or fall. Why is that?
I mean, from being with a lot of different artists, I see that it happens for many different reasons. Um, when you say, and you're young and you're innocent like me, and you say, I just want to be a singer. You just want to sing. You don't actually really know what comes with it.
Mhm.
You don't know that it's a whole bunch of devilish stuff that always comes with it on the other side. And when you're introduced and you're out there, drugs, sex, money, those three things alone, will drive a person crazy. And I think a lot of people get caught up into that. They get caught up into it. They get caught up into the drugs, or they get caught up into the money, the fame, or they get caught up into it for different reasons that causes it not to work. Or, but then I say to people, what is success? I think everybody might have a different meaning of success. Is success a Grammy? Are you successful because you won 8 Grammys? Or
Nope.
are you successful because you got a open mic down the block that's local and everybody comes every weekend and blessed? Is that a blessing too? Or are you blessed because you have a #1 record? And I think people get caught up in just the material things of it, man. But you can be blessed and you could be successful without a #1 record, you
That's
know?
right.
But I think the industry has kind of pruned us to feel a certain type of way if things ain't going the way ourselves. Look at my guy, let's say Life Jennings.
Mhm.
Life ain't had a #1 record, a hit record in years. But he's still touring and selling out places everywhere that he goes, still to this day. So yes, still successful. He's touching hearts, he's touching minds with his music. So I kind of measure success a little different. I don't really see being on the top and falling, because you fell and nobody didn't hear from you, as you're not being successful. You can be successful in your everyday life, just helping people and doing what you do.
Would you agree or disagree that the music industry is called the devil's playground?
You asking me some good questions today. Usually, they're real basic questions and I can just answer them and just, get away from it. Wow, this is deep.
Well, welcome to the For What Review.
Oh boy. The devil's playground. Well, we do know, I don't know if everybody knows, that Satan, the devil, was the minister of music.
That's right.
So,
I love him.
Let that marinate for a little. Let that marinate for a minute.
yeah, so God had to kick him out of heaven.
Mhm.
They said Satan, when he walked, music just came out his pores. He could play any instrument, and when he played, they said that he was the king master of music, and God had to kick him out of heaven. He kicked him out, like, no.
The Pied Piper.
So we know that he's in it. Is it his playground? I'm not really sure if I would say it's his playground, but it is a great ground to play on. You know, I think for some reason for so long, that's why the people in the church didn't really want us singing the music outside of the church. Because I guess, you know,
But
they feel like,
ain't it
you
the
know,
same thing?
the drinking, the drugs, and all that going there.
But ain't it the
So I
same
guess,
thing?
huh?
Ain't it the same thing? What do they do when they start their music? They get up and start dancing. They start tapping their feet. They start screaming. They
Mm-hmm.
start clapping in church. It's the same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. So I mean, the church can be the devil's playground too.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, wherever, you know, I think a group of people or people are meeting, and it's not about all being positive. Is any place for, and God ain't got ain't in the midst of it. Is any place for the devil to have his playground, you
Okay.
know? And
Tamika?
I think that could be in the church. I think that could be in the music business. It could be in your house.
Yeah.
Right. Tamika, you got something?
Let me ask you, who produces and writes all your music?
Bernie Stevenson. So we have a team, me, Bernie, me and Bernie I come up with ideas. We come together, do that. And then we got Jonathan Jennings, my guy. He's a vocal coach, a vocal coordinator. I go to him and we put the vocals and the backgrounds all together. So between me, Bernie, and Jonathan Jennings, JJ, we get it done. And I actually was nominated for 4 Stellar Awards this year with my first album coming out, and me, Bernie, and JJ did the whole album together. So it's a great team, man.
And
No.
are there any producers that you want to looking forward to working with?
Right now, I mean, back in the day, it was, you know, Timberland, Rodney Jerkins, you know, Scott Storch. Like we had all of those. Now I don't know who's producing. It's so, you know, a lot of these rappers are getting their beats off the computer,
Yep. Yep. So you
and
know who's who.
I don't. It's not. You know, you really don't know who's. You know, Swiss Beats. You know, we knew who the producers were back then. Now I don't really see. Like I can't name you one new producer. I just don't know their names. So I'm still trying to work with Chucky Thompson. You know.
I like the fact that when you do make songs, they have meaning. People that
Mm-hmm.
songs that people can relate to.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you choose that pattern?
Well, I mean, there's something that was just in me that I wanted to do, but I'm a big fan of the My Life album by Mary J. Blige, and I think what comes from the heart touches the heart, and sometimes it's not as popular, but you make real fans that really love you. Like they don't really they ain't rocking with you because you got a hot record on the radio, you know, but you make real fans that really love you. And I just didn't want to just be putting out anything. So that formula that P. Diddy and Mary used on the My Life album, because with putting her real struggles and her real stories in there, that's what I do with my music. I put my real life, I put my real struggles in there. Everything y'all hear, we didn't just sit down and thought it sounded nice. Like, you know, it's my pain and my struggles, my victories, everything all in the music. And I just wanted to touch people from a different place, you know, a real place, so that they could identify and be a fan for life. Like, you know, Rex, I went through the same thing. And when people can identify with you like that, like The Storm is a ministry kind of song,
Yeah.
you got them forever.
Okay.
So just trying to be from a real place, man.
Last political question.
Mm-hmm.
They got this old saying, money, right?
Mm-hmm.
is the devil's paper. Can you agree or disagree? Is that the devil's paper, money?
I'm gonna tell you this, bro. I'm gonna be prepared the next time I come on here. I might have to have a shot or two or something. Yeah, I still have a drink or two, and I sing gospel music. I don't believe there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, they was drinking wine back then, so
I repeat it again.
okay. The devil's paper. But do you agree? Money is the devil. It was created and
Nah, I
became
don't.
the devil's paper. Let me tell you what. Let me help you. Most things on this planet, the United States, is moved by currency, which is money, diamonds, gold, or whatever, right? What do people fight for? Money, gold, diamonds, and so on, right? What do people
Yeah.
kill for? Money, gold, diamonds, jewelry. So in everything in entertainment, oh, I think we lost them.
Hold on 1 second. Did you lose me?
Yeah.
Hold on. Hold on. Okay, you see me?
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Okay.
So with money, would you agree or disagree that this is the devil's paper?
I disagree.
Disagree? Why?
Um, I think a lot of great things we need money for
Why?
to live,
Why?
to eat.
Remove money.
Okay.
What happens when it's just there? Which it really is. It's just there. People create it, give it to you. Same thing.
I don't know. It's just I don't. I think it can be the root of all evil.
Because if you go to Africa, right, there's tribes in Africa, you know what I'm saying, other countries, stuff like they don't use money. They don't have it. They
Mm-hmm.
they trade with what? Animals, food,
Mm-hmm.
flour, rice, stuff like that. There's no money.
Yeah. I mean, I think it can be used. My opinion. I think it can be used for bad, but I don't think that is all bad.
If you remove money and currency from the United States in these communities, what will happen?
It would be crazy. It would be crazy.
Right, which means people need it. They just like crack that. They'll do anything for it. Right?
Well, I'm not gonna do anything for it.
People do.
Yeah, but some people will. But T-Rex ain't just gonna do anything for it, you know.
Because how long you been in the industry?
20 years now.
I'm
This
pretty
year.
sure you've seen some things, heard some things, and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
And
For
I'm
that,
finding out things now that happened then that I'm just like, wow.
for that money, for that
For
fame.
for the love of money.
That's right.
You know?
You know what I'm
But
saying?
I don't think it's all bad. I think
Yeah.
we need money to live. I mean, we don't it probably doesn't necessarily have to be that way, but that's where we're at right now with it. So
Tamika?
Okay. I see. Recently, I think I seen you. You did background for the legendary Melissa Morgan.
yes.
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 And
Yo,
how did that?
that was amazing, man. You know, because I grew up listening to Melissa Morgan. Um, and to meet her, she was amazing. And just to be on stage with like such a legend. And I said to myself, I really wasn't gonna sing background no more because pretty much it's a phase and I'm kind of just like over. But when somebody come to you like Melissa Morgan and be like,
Wow.
I want you to come on the road and do shows with me, you just like, You know what? I said I wasn't gonna do it, but forget that. This Melissa Morgan. So just to be on the stage with her and performing them hits like "Do Me, Baby,"
All right.
and like singing along with her on stage, like it was amazing. And she's an awesome person. So that was an amazing experience. And I got more shows coming up with her soon. So big up to
Oh,
Melissa Morgan. Yeah.
keep me posted on that. Okay.
Yeah, Melissa Morgan. And she's still singing and performing. And I really just sat and just watched and listened and learned a lot. I learned a lot from her. She knows her music and she knows music and she knows a lot.
I
So
tried. I tried to put a tour together with her.
oh really?
Yep, I know Melissa Morgan. Yeah, I talked to her. In your career, would you say honestly you have more that support you than don't?
Yes. And you know what? I talk to a lot of artists. A lot of artists don't feel that way. But you know what? I show a lot of love to a lot of different indie artists. I'm always supporting. I'm always, giving people my platform. I'm always taking artists out. And sometimes I believe what you put out there, you get back. So I just don't have that story of not getting support. Like I get a lot of support from a lot of people all over the place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you say, I'll be finished in 3 years, or you see you doing it for much more?
Um, man, I don't know what else I'm gonna be doing. Probably not maybe making albums and touring. Um, but something to do something within the music and the entertainment, whether I'm behind the scenes,
There you go. There
bringing up new artists,
you
or I'm not sure, but I don't see myself stopping anytime soon. I'm actually feel like I'm just getting started.
Oh, okay.
It's my first album,
Oh,
so it's that I put out. So like I'm working on the next album, next project right now, and I feel like
okay.
a kid. I feel like I'm a kid in it, and I feel like I'm just getting started.
Wow. I
And let
didn't
me
know that.
ask you, what is RNG?
Rhythm and gospel,
Okay.
and like I was saying earlier, it's just a mixture of hip hop and R&B, and it's not like nobody hasn't done it before. Like Kurt Franklin been doing hip hop mixed with gospel a long time, but I think it's just the swag that I put on it. Um, it's a little bit more unchurched than what Kurt Franklin was doing. Um, yeah, but like hip hop gospel been around for a while. I didn't start that. But just I guess putting a name on it and just the way it's just my swag on it. I don't know. I really can't explain it.
What
People they just say it's different.
what is the single on your album?
The single on my album was called "The Storm,"
The Storm.
Mm.
and it actually went to #1 on the gospel charts. That was my first album, first #1 record. Got
Did
my
you shoot a
first number, got my first plaque.
did you shoot a video for that?
Yes,
I'm gonna go look for it, definitely. But I like Letter to Mary, Above Water. Oh man.
yeah. I shot a video for "The Storm." Two videos actually.
Wow.
I did one in Harlem. I always want to do somebody Apollo, so I did somebody Apollo. But then like the official video, uh, I did one of those two.
Do you got a name for your next album? Title?
Yeah, it's called "The Best of My Life,"
Wow.
All right.
and it's just kind of like a declaration that the rest of my life is gonna be the best of my life. You kind of done went through so much and had so many hardships, and you done learned a lot, and you just kind of like tired of BS, and you know that life is short and we only got a little bit of time here. So, it's kind of like a declaration. I'm saying like the rest of my life is definitely gonna be the best. Like I'm just ready to live without people's opinions, without judgment, without just a bunch of crap that I've been through. You know, I've let a lot go. I'm more free now than I've ever been in my life. And like Mary J. Blige's My Life was a sad my life. This is gonna be more the best of my life is more of an uplifting, more of a good time, more of a celebration, more of a victory, you know. So yeah, and that single comes the end of this year, first single.
Any features on the album?
Not yet. Not yet. My last album, I had like 12 features. Bunch of rappers. T-Stove, Salik, Day 26 was on the last album. My boy Robert Curry. I'm just in the recording process of it now. So we'll see what happens. But I know in these times everybody's, featuring, collabing. And I know marketing wise, it's smart sometimes to get other people on your record so that you can get to a different audience.
Right.
So yeah, definitely gonna be some features. I just became real cool with the rapper Graph, and I think he's amazing. So I'm looking at definitely getting Graph on the first single. Me and Graph just did a show together. And I'll be doing shows that ain't got nothing to do with gospel music, man. Me and Graph just did a show. We love hip hop and R&B. And it was dope. So
Yeah.
So hopefully I get some features. We're gonna see. You know, they be wanting money. You gotta, and you gotta. It depends on what your budget is. If you can get it out, if you can get that money up, people will do it.
The studio that you use, where is it located? In New York?
Jersey.
Oh,
Jersey.
Wow.
Yep. So I go all the way to Jersey. I grew up in like Sony Studios and the Hip Hop Factory. I grew up in those. And when people started coming up with computers and getting their own studios, nobody was really going to them and renting them more. So they end up, most of the studios in New York City are shut down.
Yeah.
We got Quad, but now it's so many different home studios. People done learned the technology.
It's so bad they doing it on their phone.
Yeah. Yeah. So you don't really, and it's kind of bad, these new artists don't really get the experience of actually like going into a big studio and in the booth and that whole experience. But I go all the way to New Jersey, man.
Wow.
All
Yeah.
Let me ask you, when is your next project dropping?
The next project drops. It's not gonna drop till the summer, but the single is dropping on my birthday. It's November the 12th. I'm doing a private event at Smash Studios in New York City. You invited.
Put me on the list. Put me on the list.
You know you there.
All right.
I want to come too. What the hell?
Yeah, y'all come. Come. Tell Katina let y'all come, man.
All right.
Hold on. When you said November 12th?
Yeah, November 12th at Smash Studios in Times Square.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get
I'm free.
Maybe 70 people. It's gonna be a live taping, so everybody that's there gonna be a part of the audience.
We want to cover it.
Yeah, you should. You should. It's gonna be dope. I'm gonna have my band. We're gonna shoot it live. I'm gonna introduce a new record, and I'm gonna have all my people in the building. It's gonna be dope. November 12th. I look forward to seeing y'all.
We want to videotape the whole thing, step and repeat and everything. We ain't the red carpet out that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Seriously. I just want to thank you, T-Rex, because I know you busy. You know, you about to perform. I hope they film it. We can see it. You know what I'm saying? That is live. Man, thanks from the For What Review, man. Thank you. It's Almighty Q, man. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Anything for y'all, man.
86. Thank you.
Yeah, love y'all.
Thanks.
Love you too.
Good luck on your show.
Peace.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.